I'm Neha Tyagi from IIMA Alumni Office, and on behalf of IIMA, I would like to congratulate Mr. Manish Gupta for this immense achievement, the award that is, and we are here to ask you a few questions about it. And you can tell us about the challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur venturing into healthcare industry, especially from being an Indian startup point of view.
That's a very good question. We as Indegene today so primarily work partner with most of the big global pharmaceutical companies, and as you know, most of the big pharmaceutical companies are either headquartered out of US or some of the Western European countries. Right, and they have been used to being partnering with some of the very large, well-established players coming from India, right, first of all, we didn't have the networks, we didn't know people, and also there's lack of capital, right? So the way, obviously, we went about overcoming those challenges, or rather, let me just talk about the challenges in the first place. It's a very closed industry, right? And you got to be credible before you start breaking in. And to get credible, what finally we had to do is really think about out-of-the-box solutions, right? Come up with very differentiated offerings, deliver whenever we get an engagement, deliver much more than what the clients would have expected, and from there build our credibility brick by brick. It was a long process. We've been doing this pretty much for 19 years. Nevertheless, being a very satisfying process.
What are the quintessentials of an entrepreneur? As in, and how did IIMA help you, groom and become one?
Sure. So there you would find entrepreneurs of all kinds. There will be people with very different personality types. But I guess there would be a couple of things which would be common across them. One is that you get excited by ideas. You get excited by new things, right? Coming up with solutions which have not been addressed by the industry, a new angle of solving problems. I'm sure that's what excites most entrepreneurs. That's the very core of it. Now, beyond that, what at least excites me and a lot of my senior colleagues at Indegene is not only the idea, right, but also building an organization around that idea, which then, in a very self-sustained and self-assured way, delivers new ideas, new solutions to problems the industry and clients are facing again and again and at scale. So that's another thing which I find entrepreneurs should and typically get excited about. Beyond that, it's obviously the standard things. You've got to be an optimist as an entrepreneur. You're always more optimist. You've got to work hard. You have got to be patient. It takes a lot of time. So for most entrepreneurs, those will be again attributes which will probably define who they are.
How did IIMA groom you for risk taking?
So IIMA prepares you on multiple fronts, right from the early days. You're first of all surrounded by some of the smartest and most hardworking people, right? And you're obviously trying to hold you forward in that kind of environment. So first of all, you are exposed to very various different ways of thinking. You have people who are thinking very differently, and very quickly we get exposed to multiple facets, multiple perspectives very early on in your career. So that's, I think, a really good grounding from which people get in IIMA. Beyond that, I spoke about things like working hard. I'm pretty sure everyone in IIMA, even yesterday I was with a bunch of students till 11 o'clock. I came back and slept after that, but I'm sure they were working after that 11 o'clock session. Right? So you're never afraid of taking on challenges and working extremely hard for them.
So how did you target a globally competitive standards and work towards long-term value creation in the industry?
So we started off with the whole idea in Indegene of bringing medical expertise and technology together to solve various problems in healthcare. And in our early years, just because of lack of access, opportunities, whatever we could do, we tried to do it in the Indian domestic market till pretty much 2005. While we did very interesting things, created a name for ourselves, did exciting stuff, grew very rapidly in the first years, but we also realized it's going to be a long grind, right? And you've got to be in the right markets. And from there, we decided that we got to be in the US. If you want to be in the pharma industry, then US was pretty much half of the world's pharma market. So you got to be there. We took that call, but then we also realized we are not only smart guys who had this figured out. It was a very competitive market. We had many large players competing. So way back in 2005, we decided to establish a beachhead. We would go ahead and do an acquisition and build credibility and some size in the US through that. So we acquired, way back in 2005, we acquired a company twice our size and build a beachhead over there, build capabilities in the US organization as well as in Indian organizations to deliver for the US market way back in 2005. From there, we kept on building different capabilities, kept on thinking about which are the areas where we can make maximum amount of impact in the marketplace. Invested in IP, invested in our teams, capabilities. Between 2012 and 18, we did 6 acquisitions in North America. Along with that, invested heavily in our business development teams, heavily in building intellectual property which could be used by the industry. And that's what truly differentiates us even today.
And what does this award mean to you?
This award means a lot coming from an institution I really fortunate am to be an alumni of. At this point of time, is truly a privilege. IIMA has been special to me. It's contributed immeasurably to the journey I've taken since, and I feel really grateful, humbled as well.
So, does being an entrepreneur and having an IIMA background open many doors to you? And does it push you to go further? And since you have a kind of comfort with which you can fall back on.
So there are a couple of things. First of all, if you are a graduate from IIMA, you, at least in the Indian industry, very easily find some people at very senior positions who would know you, right? You can find some networks, and they are more than willing to support. Some of our early clients in the Indian pharma industry were from IIMA, and that was a great help. That's on one side. On the other hand, if you're trying to raise capital, obviously being from IIMA gives you a lot of credibility. You at least get heard. Right? Again, most of the VCs, private equity firms would have people from IIMA. So that's the other thing. Now, while these doors are important, I guess what IIMA gives is the confidence and belief that you can be the best. You can compete on a global platform. You can compete with the best of best and create value in that process. I guess that's the most important thing, even more important than the networks which obviously are there.
What are your future plans as an entrepreneur? Are you opening up to different fields or are you taking your company forward?
Sure. So it's interesting, we started off in the healthcare space and almost 20 years back now, healthcare space was supposed to be a nascent space, right? So we thought there were going to be tremendous opportunities. And while we have grown as an organization, we have 2,000 people today across the world, a lot of people, them based out of North America, China, and many other Western European countries. But interestingly, healthcare is still a nascent area. And we see that with the pressures people are facing on especially the developed markets, and actually even emerging markets on the healthcare front, that coupled with some of the emerging technologies offer an unprecedented opportunity to create value and truly impact an area like healthcare, which is so fundamental to human existence. And bringing those innovations in the healthcare space to deliver better patient care, make businesses which are dealing with healthcare more robust, I think it's going to keep us busy for the next 5 to 10 years at least. There's a lot of work to do.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manish, for enlightening us.
Thank you. Thank you.